Good afternoon. No, good evening. Well, somewhere it is good morning, somewhere it is afternoon, right? In the West Coast, it's about 3 hours behind us, so it's early evening, late afternoon. I think evening officially starts about 6 p.m. I'm not really sure. But yeah, this is Mark Christmas. Welcome to All Verse Thursday. I see we already got a bunch of folks ready, lined up, on time, tapped in. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for tapping in. You could have done anything with your day, and you're choosing to be right here with me. That's really special. So, All Verse Thursdays is a place where the artists share their purpose combined with their journeys around their life, right? Their life stories. More importantly, their journey along their life with purpose, right? And so, let me tell you how this works. Yes, yes, Kenny. I see you, Kenny's TV. What's up, brother? We shout out to you. So, first of all, the chat, whether you're on YouTube or you're on Twitch or you're on Facebook, right? Join in the chat. Be active in the chat. This is how my guest and I know what's up with you. We'll say shout outs to you. We'll say hello. If you got questions at some points in time, I may take a few questions from the chat, but we want you to be active in the chat. So as a matter of fact, right now, if you're watching, just put a one up. It's February. Valentine's Day is coming up. Put a heart in the chat. If you got some love for anybody, anything, put a heart in the chat. Let's just get some hearts going, whether it's an emoji. If you're on the Nia Center and Twitch, hit the little follow button, right? If you subscribe, you can get what they call our emotes. We've got some special hearts just for you. There's red hearts, or you can put the hello there. But let's see some hearts. Yes, Cynthia, I see you with your hearts. Thank you, Cynthia. That's right. Kenny's TV, I see your heart. Let's get some hearts going in the chat. I'm feeling like love today. Love is in the house. Luana DeRusso, yes. Luana, thank you for your chat, your hearts. Absolutely, absolutely. All Verse Thursdays. Now, what's special about this show is that we bring artists from all over the world and all sorts of genres, right? From visual artists, graphic artists, poets, spoken word artists, authors. We can probably even have some dancers on here at some point. DJs. We've had music producers. We had movie directors, movie producers. Hey, what's up, Tanya? Thank you for the hearts. Thanks for the hearts. Brenda Patterson. Doc. Yes. Thank you for the hearts. And so what we know is that artistry is broad. And it's very purposeful, right? And just like Nia Center, Nia means purpose, right? And so the Nia Center is all about educating, engaging, and empowering folks to step into their purpose, to live their purpose, to experience their purpose fully. And in doing that, they experience the passion that comes along with doing so, right? And so what we like to do is say that purpose is what this show is all about. We're going to give you some entertainment, right? But we're going to give you, more importantly, to me, is inspirement. Yes, I made that work up. Hello, Valerie Taylor Jackson. I see your love. I see your hearts. Thank you for the love. Frida Bookman, welcome to the show. Thank you. Thank you. We're really excited. We've got a full house tonight, and it's good. Hey, we've got space for more. So if you're on the Facebook, I see there are a lot of people tapping in for Facebook. Thank you. Go ahead and share it to your page. Go ahead and share the link right now. Don't start a watch party. Just share the link as is to your page, right? Let's get a lot of folks in here. We got a really special guest tonight, and I'm telling you, you are going to be wild, right? Let me talk about, I believe you're going to be wild because there's some things that might come up that you may have never heard before, right? Yeah, I'm not going to give it away. I'm going to get to that in just a moment, right? So if you haven't switched to Twitch, it's really easy. If you go to twitch.tv/Nia Center, NIYAHCENTER, you'll find that you can go into Twitch and you hit the heart and that's followed. That way you know when we have shows, when we're coming up, when we're coming on. You don't have to remember. It'll send you a reminder, right? And then you can even subscribe there. Now, let me tell you what subscribe means. Subscribe is really how the person that hosts the show, in this case, it's the Nia Center, we get to share in some of the revenue. So they charge you a small fee to subscribe on a monthly basis. We get a small fee of revenue. But in exchange, it gives you the opportunity to do some things like be with the emotes, have some fun, and they call them emotes versus emojis, right? And there's little things like clip that, which is one. I'll bring ours up in just 1 second here because I'm producing the show tonight on my hand. So if you just give me a minute just to look away to be able to pull that up, I will do that in a minute. But what I know is that we're going to have a good time, right? Because we're going to hear some dope verses, right? Some dope artistry. Is hold hold on a second. We don't need the time. We don't need this. We don't need the sound. I love it. See, this is when technology, you meet technology and it does its own thing. It does its own thing. So we want to take that sound out the back, and I think we've had an opportunity to do that. So thank you, Twitch. And in doing this, what I know is that we're gonna have a good time. We can't actually go wrong, right? We can't go wrong because this show is already divinely ordained. And with that, let me just show you an example of what I mean. Some of the emotes that we have, right? And so we've got these hello there's, right? That's an example of some from the Nia Center. You can, if you follow us, you can get that. We've got these hearts, right? If you follow us, you can get these hearts, right? And then we've got these. I'll show you those hearts coming up in a second. You and Twitch, you're seeing them right now. But this is my favorite one. It's clip that, right? So clip that is a function that really allows you, if you heard something that you liked, you can say, I'll say, hey, and maybe sometimes I'll hear something I like. I'll say, clip that, right? And that's me. Me holding my fingers up like clip that with the headphones on. Yeah, don't laugh at me, man. Don't laugh at me. We have some fun with that. And what it'll do is it'll create a 30-second clip. And you can actually go into that clip and share that clip with somebody if something stood out that we said. So clip that. Those are some of our heart emojis, right? Those are some of our hello there's. And so just have a little fun, right? Have some fun tonight. That's what we're going to do. Inspirement, baby. If you haven't heard of that word, get to it. Get on it. It's not in the dictionary. They're going to put it in there in probably about 5 years. They'll be like, there was this word that we heard from Mark Christmas, a.k.a. Mark for real. And now we'll tell you what it means. But in the meantime, find out what it means tonight. Now, with that being said, I've talked a little bit about the show, but let me go ahead and open this up. Now, yesterday was my wife's birthday. She had a milestone birthday, and we had a fabulous time. We skydived, we hiked, we went to the oldest overlook in the United States of America. It's a place called the Great Falls. It's a beautiful mountain river that just kind of cuts through the mountains and flows down very powerfully, right? And in that, you had a chance to connect. Hello, homegirl Gwen Holland, good to see you. And in that chance, we had a chance to really just connect with our oneness with nature. And what I love about nature is that you get an opportunity to understand just the power in the source that is the source of all, right? You see the water. It's like and it's flowing powerfully, and you know that for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, it's flowed and cut through that land, and now you didn't even know that land was there because the water is just cut through that mountain and it's going in that. But that's why they had those different rock and fixtures in there, because that's just how the water has cut through the land over in some cases maybe millions of years, just cut through that space. And you see the power of it, and you connect it like the source, because that's the same water that may just be a little trickle in a stream somewhere. But it's the same source that's in me, that's in you. And so with that being said, like I said, we went to that waterfall, then we got in the car and we drove and we skydived, and we were in the air flying and spinning around in the air. And I just got a chance just to feel the lightness of gravity, right? It's like what it feels like to be just in a free fall, but feeling safe and protected. Right. And then we had a odd man, DJ Clan Sharp, DJ C Sharp. What's up, DJ C Sharp? He put on a heck of a party last night, a virtual party on Twitch in honor of my wife. And so I would say it was an epic day. Right. And with that, let me go ahead and get started and kick this thing off with a verse. Right. This verse is called Epic. This is a dedication to my wife, Naonu Jewel. Happy birthday, baby. I love you so much. And may this milestone, may you remember it as an outpouring of who you are and how you make others feel. With that being said, Epic. When I first met you, words to describe how I felt are hard to find. Special. Yes, that's a word that comes to my mind. The way you make others feel, I mean, it's truly divine. Maybe awesome. it could start to stir the pot. And even though that noun covers a lot, it's not quite what hits the spot. Excellent. That is the presence that you always present. Like that feeling you get from money that's been well spent. It seems like one word limits to say because you make me feel so many ways. Epic. Now that has punch, and not many words fit into this bunch. See, you're my personal unicorn. May our love live on and on and on and on and on. May today you remember this. You're epic, Naonu. For you, that's my birthday wish. Happy birthday, beautiful. And let me just open up with a prayer. Dear Lord, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being epic. Thank you for being the source of all that mighty river flowing, that mountain that's not too high, that valley that's not too low, and the abundance that created all of it. Thank you for being that in me, through me, as me. Thank you for right now, All Verse Thursdays, being a channel to touch, move, or inspire, to lift, to create an opportunity for someone to hear something that may empower them to go make a choice that can change the world. Thank you for our guest tonight. Thank you for giving her a sense of divine peace, the divine love, and the divine guidance that is present. We welcome and embrace you. And we say, Amen, Ashe, and so it is. Woo, woo. Nia Center Epic. That's that piece, y'all. Yes, that's that piece, y'all. Tanya Watkins, yes, ma'am. Clip that. Clip that, Tanya. Thank you so much. Janice Mays, we see the hearts and we see the hearts. Thank you for joining us. Yes, follow. That's DJ C Sharp, man. If you're on Twitch, just go ahead and put that in right now with your little search button. It won't make you leave the channel. And follow DJ C Sharp. He's a really beautiful spirit person. Now know him, have been friends forever. Now, with that being said, I've got somebody really special in the studio. Really special in the studio. Now, she hails from Texas, right? And we're not just talking about any part, like the parts you hear about Dallas, Texas, or Houston, Texas. We're talking about Texas where the cattle roam free, right? Where the horses run free. Like the things, you see. She's a rancher, y'all. Did y'all, we got black ranchers. Yeah. So I know some of you didn't know we had a black ranchers, and there's many of them. There's actually a whole community of them. Right. Now, this woman is super talented. She's really a gift in a human form. And we'll call her name in just 1 second. She's written a couple books. She's got a brand new book coming out, The Rancher in Stilettos. I don't know what I can't wait to talk about that. And we are going to talk about that. A Rancher in Stilettos. The visual in my mind is just going ridiculous, y'all. I'm telling you, it's going crazy. She also is a poet. She writes poetry. So let me just, without further ado, let me bring to the screen Marcia Williams Cromer. Hey, Marcia.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, we're excited to have you tonight. We're excited to have you. You're looking really lovely. I love those clips in your hair. It's setting off just your outfit just perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah. So welcome to All Verse Thursdays. So before we even get kicked off, it's a show where you share your artistry. You got some art to share with us, right?
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna just introduce you to my main character from my book, The Rancher in Stilettos.
Perfect. Right there. We can see it. Hold it right there. Hold on a second. You moved it too quick. A little bit over. Boom. The Rancher, y'all clip that. The Rancher in Stilettos by Marcia Williams Cromer. Okay, Marcia, go ahead and give us a little excerpt.
The walls of Zade's 200 square foot office, which anyone who has ever worked in Manhattan will tell you is a pretty decent size, were as bare as the day she first settled into it. It was the place where she hosted, coached, and sometimes argued with clients she serviced as a marketing professional while working at Banger and Stroud. And that is the opening paragraph to The Rancher in Stilettos.
Did we get her name yet or not yet?
Zaid.
Zaid.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Zaid.
Grace is her name.
Zaid Grace. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about Zaid in a minute. So, congratulations. Now, the book is actually coming out this week, right?
Yes, it'll be out. It's out now.
It's out now. How can people get that? Just for the record, we'll say it a few more times, but since you brought it up, how do people get that book?
You can go to Amazon and search The Rancher and Stilettos, and it's there available right now.
Yeah, you got some people that's in the chat. Dave, my awesome talented sister, love Marcia. Yes, Barbara Buskey, we see you. Tanya Watkins, hey, my sweet and beautiful sis. You got a lot of family showing you love. Somebody just got their copy today. Uh-oh. We're gonna talk about that. So tell us the town that you're from. Where are you actually from?
I grew up in a town called Huntsville, Texas, and I did grow up on a ranch. I can't actually say that I'm a legitimate rancher, but in growing up, I think just by default you end up having to, be a rancher and be out, with the cows and horses, and it's a huge part of how my early development. I
Now hold
was
on, because I
raised
want to get back to this being a rancher. But Huntsville, Texas, we had a family on here a few months back in
They're my
October.
people. They're my
Yeah,
people.
we had the Watkins family. Shout out to
Yes.
the Watkins family. Yes, yes. Mom and pops. I'm an adopted member of the family now. I've never been to Hunt. I can't wait to get to go to Huntsville. And Monica, who's a good friend of mine, Monica Watkins, the Beautiful Freedom, Freedom Project that she worked on. We talked a lot about that. And that was really a wonderful show because we talked about their activism.
Yes.
And Black Lives Matter. So it's obviously a lot of history coming out of Huntsville, right?
Right.
So tell us about most folks that's not from Texas probably never heard of Huntsville. Give us just paint the picture. What is Huntsville? Is it a big town? Is it a small town? Is it a mostly black town, or is this a few blacks in town? What is that like?
It's a small town. I think it's definitely growing. When I was growing up there, it was the capital of capital punishment, if you will. It's like the capital. It's like the main headquarters for the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. So I knew a lot of people who worked there, but still pretty rural. So again, I grew up in the country on a ranch, and rode horses and, had cows, the whole 9 yards.
So when I was a kid, there was a show, Little House on the Prairie, right? And they used to keep the horses in the stall. But y'all don't get mad at me talking about Little House on the Prairie, right? They didn't have no black cowboys on the show, so that's all we had to kind of see nature. And they would like look to. And I love westerns. I used to read westerns as a kid, right? But they always talk about like breaking the horse. Have you ever broke a horse?
No,
Did I say it right?
No. My brother and dad did all of that hard work.
So that is a thing. That's a real thing. Breaking the horse.
It is absolutely.
Wow.
But I have ridden bareback. That's without a saddle.
Okay, see, bareback in the hood means something else.
Okay, I don't know.
Oh, I told you we're gonna have some fun tonight, Marcia. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Look, it's ALLVERSE Thursdays, right? It's people made time to tap in, right, on Thursday night to see about, because they want to hear about black ranchers. They want to hear about black ranchers. So anyway, it's a place. Now, did you like have to milk cows? Did you have farm duties? Well, I mean, tell us, what is it like being growing up on the farm?
We were, like my parents were professionals, but if we started out like to go to a party or something, everything on the ranch trumped whatever was going on in town or the rest of the world. So I can remember times where we'd be dressed to go someplace and cows got out, God forbid, and you have to run, change clothes, and yeah, and then just like have to help. We were like unpaid ranch hands. That's what we were.
Hey, somebody said somebody's already read the book. Somebody's already read the book. Team, The Rancher and Stilettos was beautifully written and so captivating. This romantic novel was a brilliant story, and the characters are dope. Right. Team Cap, I hope if you put this review in Amazon. So let me give y'all, the audience, let me give you a little something, something. Here's what helps when a brand new book is launched on Amazon. Reviews. Right? Reviews.
Right,
Even if you
right.
haven't read the whole book yet, you read a part and you really liked it, go ahead and put that review in. That's going to help her get more notoriety, bring her up on the list, on the visibility. So we need your reviews. Put them in there, even if you only read a couple pages. If you like what you read, review it, right? And so let's help our Ms. Marcia Williams Cromer. Let's get one of those best-selling recommendations. No, I didn't. Yes, I did, Kitty. You know how I do it, man. Yeah, they tapped in to hear you. They tapped in to hear you. Hey, the audience already has questions. We'll get to them. They one of them talk about baling hay. We'll get to that in a second. But we love the title. Can you hold the book up one more time for those that didn't see it? The Rancher and yeah, perfect right there. The Rancher and Stilettos. Oh, she got some red bottoms on too. Y'all don't see her. Y'all don't see it tied in with the red and the Stilettos and the red and Williams. All right, Marcia, come on now. So you know, so basically what I'm hearing is life on the ranch is similar to life in the city, but it has some other dynamics to it, right? You go to school, your parents were professionals, you're not some country bumpkin, you're like regular people, right? With regular responsibilities, but you got some fresh food right there, right? Like,
We're country now. I'm not. No. I mean, because my dad and my dad's friends will cook anything. It's just like you have to look in the pot and do a double take. But yeah, and Tanya's still on this call. She knows what I'm talking about because her dad and my dad were besties.
Now I remember when I was a kid, I went to Mississippi to visit some family in Mississippi. And I was maybe about 7, 8, 9, somewhere in that range. And they were like, go get us some eggs from outside. Now, I had never seen eggs anywhere but in a grocery store. And it wasn't like you get now, you get the brown eggs or the white eggs. They were all white. In the grocery store, eggs came in a paper carton and they were white. I go outside, I see these little brown things. Some of them are light brown, some are dark brown, some got speckles. And I come back in, I was like, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And they're like, what you talking about? I said, the eggs, they're brown. I don't know what happened to them. And they just laughed at me. They laughed so hard at me. And I didn't know this. Like, boy, go get some eggs and bring them back. Now, those were the best eggs I ever had in my life.
Yeah, best for baking and cooking. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's nothing like natural food. Now that I'm wise and I'm older, I'm in my age, I wish I would have had some of that natural life experience, right? I've had the opportunity to milk a cow, milk a goat. Now, I don't know that people drink that like straight out from the cow, right? But there is something to connecting with nature, like we talked about earlier, right?
Yeah,
connecting with nature.
I remember my dad trying to get us to drink that milk, and the smell is just no. You gotta start people out with that milk. You can buy milk from town and then think you're gonna save some money, and have them start drinking. No. I was like, no, I'm out, not doing it.
Oh, Tanya is still in Huntsville. Tanya, you still in Huntsville? Shout out to Huntsville. She said she had some organic eggs for breakfast this morning.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah. Homogenized. I mean, like you start to understand what pasteurized and homogenized mean. Basically, they fancy words that we done something to it. Right, we done something to it.
And people, what they call organic now, no. We know what organic is if you grew up in the country.
My man said he milked the cow before, but he can't do that fresh unpasteurized milk. Yeah, so let's give me a little bit another excerpt. I want to get another excerpt. And by the way, we got Marcia Williams Cromer, and let me just put our information up around this new book. The Rancher and Stilettos. Let us get another excerpt because I want to talk a little bit more about your book. Hey, Miss Charlotte Smith Brown, say, hey, B. Now, is that another nickname you got, B?
Yeah, That's my middle name, and just a few people know it's Burnett. And
How
it
many
got
names you
started
have? Is
like
Marcia
years ago.
Williams? Marcia, where's the B? Is it before Williams or after Williams?
It's after Marcia. It's my middle name. It's Burnett.
Let's give us another
And
excerpt.
actually, Charlotte is one of the original dreamers. And in the book, I write about a group of friends that I grew up with. And
Well,
the
don't, let's
character.
come back to the Dreamers. Let's get an excerpt, and we'll come back to talk about the
Okay,
Dreamers.
okay, perfect.
Okay.
And again, this is part of the first chapter. Boxes sat atop the glass desk that she used during her 10-year stay in New York. Framed pictures of her with celebrities and politicians stuck out of the openings of those boxes. They looked like kids struggling to break free of their parents' car so they could continue to play on the playground. At that very moment, she understood their sentiment. Manhattan was like a playground for adults. Broadway plays, coffee shops, that doubled as meeting spots for Tom Ford suit wearing executives, celebrities strolling past with no regard for anonymity, tourists with crane necks gawking at the sights and sounds of a city that never sleeps.
That's that piece, y'all. That's that piece. When we end, we say that's that piece. That way we'll know that we end. That's that piece. So a city that never sleeps. And you wouldn't think about that when you think about a ranch. Tell me
Well,
about a city.
it's the duality of this person who's living in the city who grew up on a ranch and now finds herself returning to that ranch to resume her life because of some issues that happened through her living in New York. She's gotten married, she gets divorced, and decides to come back home to her center and her base of friends that are always there to support her.
Okay. So someone said they love the descriptive imagery that you just shared. Yeah, and yes, the Neil Center, thank you for tapping in for everyone who's tapped in. So let me ask you this. I want to come back to the Dreamers and the actual characters in the book in a minute. But tell me about, how did you get started writing?
I've been writing really all my life. How I started was with poetry, and I would just, kind of use it as a way to journal. So those things that were important to me, if I needed to journal them, and the next thing I knew, I was writing poetry. I would kind of take those thoughts and create verse with them. From the novel side, I have had this story in my heart and in my soul for years. And when COVID hit, I made a decision that I was going to come out of this work from home environment with something to show for it. So the Rancher and Stilettos is my COVID baby.
So, and there are some COVID babies being born right about now. Right, this COVID baby's coming out right about
Yeah.
now. Shout out to the COVID babies in the house. If you made one or working on one, congratulations. Right, all babies are beautiful, represent life. So I want to, you mentioned that you started out journaling and then turned journaling into poetry, and you had this idea. So talk a little bit around, because this is a show where we talk about the artistry, and so let me just set the tone for those of you the first time to ALLVERSE Thursdays. Every Thursday we bring this show to you because we think it's important for two things: that the artists share their verse, right? Because if you take it back to tribal times, right, the ability to share verse was a sacred responsibility. Right. It was how the history was passed on. It was how lessons around life or the ancestors or things of that nature. The spiritual text, the Quran is said to be one of the most beautiful forms of poetry, and the way that is shared. Not just anybody had the responsibility for sharing the verse. Right. And so it's a sacred responsibility, and it served us over the time. Whether the verse was the drum circle and they used it to send messages across the continent, particularly in the slave trade, right? When they'd come to the ports and they would be playing in the drum circles, and the folks didn't understand that messages were being sent to all people all across the world who had been taken from their places. So verse and the sharing of verse is a sacred responsibility, which we hold high and which we do on this show, right? And so I want to understand like a little bit more around so you said you were journaling. Was it a place for you to like to escape from something? I mean, what was going on that would have you say, let me try writing? What did you get from writing?
Well, like I said, I grew up in the country, so I didn't have a lot of people to play with a lot of times. So writing and reading just became kind of my escape. And then I had great teachers who always encouraged me, and from early age in high school and college, who would say, you're a writer. And I actually majored in English because I do love the spoken word, and I appreciate your concept as well. But creating a story was something that I think I had a little bit of a block, a kind of maybe doubt even, and kept finding ways to put it off. And I love to travel. I travel as much as possible all over the world. And when COVID hit,
the girl said she's getting the jet ready, so I guess y'all about to do some more traveling. Okay.
Yes, that's my girl. When COVID hit, I was kind of faced with all this time that I need, nothing really, I couldn't go anywhere. I cooked for the first 2 or 3 months and finally got tired of that. And I thought, years ago, I remember driving home after a day's work. I lived in the Dallas, Fort Worth area. And I drove home to the ranch and saw my dad on the tractor. And I didn't even think about it. I just jumped out of the car when I stopped and saw him, and I ran to him with my heels on and my suit on. And I was like thinking to myself, I'm a rancher in stilettos. And that title actually was the impetus. So the title came before the book. It was
love it.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it incubated. And then, of course, the relationship with the Dreamers, that they're real, even though the book is fiction. It is based loosely off of that girlfriend relationship, and these are friends that I've had since I was in kindergarten. So
wow. Now you're not gonna be telling those stories like that's gonna have nobody upset in the book, right? About their story being
No. You know what I did? I sent them all a proof. All the girls, there's 6 of us. There's 6 Dreamers. And before I went to press, I said, I've got to make sure my girls are cool with this story. So beautiful. They all gave me 2 thumbs up. They're happy with it.
Well, Marcia Verna sends her love and support. She already got her book. And your buddies are ready to make a movie out of it. Thank you, Tanya. Yes, COVID babies, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
My man said, wow, there's a part 2. Yes, we're gonna get to the part 2. Yes, we are going to. Ramona, thank you for the love, Ramona. Thank you. So you said something before we get to the Dreamers. You said something that stood out to me. You said that there was a block. It was a novel was something you always wanted to do. How many years ago was that when you ran to Daddy across the field in the Stilettos?
Oh, 20 years ago.
20 years ago, right? I want to talk about you recognized there was a block. When did you put words to what the block was, and how did you do that?
Just through prayer and recognizing that God was, I had to find a way to turn this downtime into something positive. Okay. And I thought, this is your opportunity. If you could travel, you'd be on a plane, you'd be jetting somewhere. Now that, things are kind of rolled back, God is giving you ample time to think of the story, create the story, and have something to come out of this really weird environment that we're in right now, something positive to come out and
So
have.
what was the block? Tell us, please. And I mean, and I'm asking this question because my spirit is being led there, right? So I really want you to give it to us
Doubt,
because somebody
doubt.
needs to understand. How did
Oh,
you?
I'll put
That
it
was the
out
block.
there. I can put it out there. It was just self-doubt, I would start with a few words and, feel like, nobody would want to read that story. Who would want to read my story, and then recognizing it doesn't have to be my story. It can be fiction. So it gave me permission, if you will, to just start the writing process. So I started it out with an outline, and that was kind of the bones of the book, and then fleshed it out from there.
So what I'm hearing you saying, if I just want to repeat it back for somebody that may have missed it, is that the doubt was present, it had been present for a while, and
Yes,
it was a conversation that you were having with self around, I'm not good enough, or nobody is interested, people don't really care. Why should I do it? It's only a good idea to me. Some kind of conversation that was defeating you from getting into action.
I talked myself out of it for 20 years.
Mm.
Yes,
And
yes.
so we know COVID created the structure, but what was it? You could have been doing a lot. You could have been on Twitch every night. Like me, you could have been doing a lot of things with your time. What was it that had you get over the doubt, overcome the doubt?
I just felt like it was the story that I wanted to write kept developing itself. And honestly, a lot of the characters are in my head, they're in my life, and it's part of who I am. And it after I started writing it, it became an obsession. I'd be
Mm.
writing, after work because I actually have a full-time job. And then I'd start writing, and I found myself going to bed later and later and later every night because I
Mm.
get just inspired. And then I find myself writing, and I'm laughing at the characters and trying so hard to even be honest and true to who the characters are. And
Mhm.
at one point, I even developed out the story, and I thought, I just want it to be a romance novel, and it'll have a happy ending, and it's going to be, something that women would love. And then again, the block came, right?
Mm.
And I realized the reason for that was I was trying to turn it into something that it wasn't supposed to be.
Ooh.
I was trying,
Mm.
yeah, yeah,
Clip that, y'all. Clip that.
yeah, yeah.
Go ahead, Mama.
Yeah, I had to be honest to the women that inspire me, and the dreamers do inspire me. I also had to be honest with the kind of woman I want to be, and that is someone who, is empowering to other people, is always an encouragement. And one of the things that I said was, we may not always get the happy endings, but we make our endings happy.
Woo! I love that. Hold on. Let me get that. Y'all clip that. We may not always get the endings, happy
The
endings, but
happy
we make
endings,
our
but we make our endings happy.
clip that. If you see you on Twitch, clip that, share that with a friend, send them to it. Stay true to yourself, girl. So you said something that was really powerful around you were in action, and that's what helped you get over the block. And you started to deviate from what your heart was saying because you started to think about what others were think about. Yes, Tanya Watkins. Yes, that's why I love Tanya. Tanya is on top of it. Absolutely. Clip that. And you started to deviate. And when you were deviating, then the block came back. Right. So
Yeah.
what I'm hearing is that um, what comes to us, we get to trust that it's a divine, comes to us divinely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when we trust it, it's, even though we put the effort in, it's not hard to do it. It flows, right? The ideas are flowing. You're laughing. You're having a good time with it. When we stop trusting it. Now all of a sudden, it's like, what can I make up? What can I create? So trust is important. You got to trust that your gift is divine and that it's going to go and be fruitful. I love that. I love
Right.
that.
Right.
Yes, yes. You may always get your happy. Yes, that's exactly what she said. Clip that. Barbara Brewski, thank you. And so, the audience, I will say, Brenda, it was a powerful word. If you've got some questions, I'm getting ready to go move into a little bit more about the book. You're on Allverse. Let me just give a shout. Allverse Thursdays, every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which is where the artistry bring and they share their artistry, right? And then they share their journeys and their purpose in their life, right? We're here to educate, engage, and empower people. Nia Center presents the Allverse Thursdays. Nia means intent. It means purpose, right? And we know that all of us have one, right? And all of us have the ability to step into it. And some of us are, some of us aren't. So sometimes we'll hear about one of those things that work that aren't working because it may inspire someone to do the same thing. Somebody says divine timing on what your word was that you just shared. So let's talk about the Rancher in Stilettos, y'all. The Rancher in Stilettos. And just for your sake, my guest, Marcia Williams Cromer, if you haven't heard by now, she's the hottest thing coming out of Huntsville, Texas, y'all. The hottest thing. Hey, they got ranches and they got ranches. They got cows, horses, and I think they got a little bit of money. But don't tell nobody.
Okay, you got jokes.
We don't want to send nobody to Huntsville starting to hunt. You might go there hunting and come back with a nice surprise. So anyway, this is how you contact Marcia. It's going across the screen. She's got many, many ways. Her website is really phenomenal, well done, professionally laid out. You can find her on Amazon.com. The Rancher. Hold the book up one more time because I want to jump into this book. The Rancher. We off the screen. Yep, perfect. The Rancher in Stilettos. Now, why the red bottoms? I want to start with the cover. We're gonna work our way. We're gonna start on the outside. Go ahead in. What's up with the red bottoms?
Because a girl is extra, that's all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The girl is extra, right? Okay.
All right. Now, there's one main character and then other sub-stories around this character?
Yeah. The main character is Zaid Grace.
Is that you? Is Zaid parallel to Marcia? Or is she somebody else?
She is a version of myself.
Okay.
I started out, looking in. How about that?
I love it. Yeah. I love it. Okay.
Yeah. And I have been blessed to have had, a life of a lot of experiences. And I drew from those in writing the story. That's where the dreamers come in. That's where Zaid, and it is a romance novel. And Zaid is trying to navigate a life with some men in it.
Okay.
But, she's got like one guy in her life that kind of keeps her grounded. That's the ranch hand.
The ranch hand, okay.
Yeah. And they really are good friends.
Hey, you need somebody to keep you grounded. Get you a ranch hand. Clip that, y'all. Go ahead.
Yes. And he is that guy that she can confide in when she's dating other guys, and he's sizing them up. And, if he thinks he's looking at a player, he's gonna, make sure she knows it. But she's still got her girls, and her girls will not let her go out there, bogus. So if they even think it's somebody that's not good enough for her, they rein her back in.
So you said a romantic novel, right? And so when you say romantic novel, so is it romantic like 50 Shades of Grey romantic? Is it romantic like Harley Quinn? I don't know if I'm even saying it right, but there was one when I was a kid.
Harley. I'm just saying it's rated G for grown.
Clip that, y'all. She dropping it. Hey, y'all. And Marcia was nervous before the show. She said, I'm nervous. I don't know what she's nervous about, especially when she rated G for grown. I started out looking in. Absolutely. Shout out to the ranch hand. You better, hey, ladies, you better get you a ranch hand in your life. Sounds like y'all don't know. Huntsville about to let you know. If you didn't know, now you know. Get you a ranch hand. You want to get grounded? Get you a ranch hand to keep you grounded. Rated G for grown. Woo! All right, so ranch hands. I'm stuck on ranch hands. The dreamers. Now, the Dreamers kind of predated the book, right? And there were, so tell us, what does the Dreamers represent?
The Dreamers are a group of sisters that I've known, like I said, since kindergarten. We are not biological, but sisters, but we're sisters in every sense of the word. We have been, attached at the hip for for our whole lives. But we've also watched, each other go in and out of different relationships. And I would say we're hard on each other because they're just some boss women. They are, even, I would say we started out with even more than the six of us. And as life happens, we ended up being the core group. So we travel together, we hang out and, visit each other. We have, gone on different trips together to celebrate birthdays and life. And we each one of these women are so powerful. And as I was writing the book, I have so much respect for them. I literally had to make sure that each character was represented in a positive way, something that would totally empower other women to see how strong relationships between women can work.
Now you have a quote about the Dreamers, and I think it's really. Can I read this? You mind if I read it?
Go for it.
So you says, as you told us, though not biological, the Dreamers are sisters in every sense of the word. And when life struggles present themselves, the women from their Dreamers circle of protection against outside forces. Now, try to put the Dreamers in a box, and they will decorate it with every color and invite the world in for a tour. I love that. Tell me, what does that mean?
In a world where I think that we can be so divided and fractured, the Dreamers all have open hearts. We accept people for who they are, no judgment. We try to uplift each other. In fact, we expect people to be better. And even to be one of their friends, they push me to be my best because they're just some boss chicks.
And so those stories also come out in this novel, right? It's
Absolutely.
not just romance. So tell folks, for folks that are tuning in, Marcia Williams Cromer, author, new book released this week, The Rancher and Stilettos. It's a romantic story, which includes a story around some powerful Black women. Is that right? Is it Black women?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Dreamers, Black women who rock is what Frida Bookman says. Black women who rock, and really, romance is the backdrop, but for a broader picture of relationships. Did I hit it right?
Absolutely.
Right.
And to have kind of that group of women that, when life gets hard, sometimes you just need that foundation, those people who are going to tell you the truth and also, celebrate the great things that are happening in your life. There's no jealousy there. We just want to see each other do well.
Now, the Nielsen says, in a fractured world, the Dreamers have open hearts. Does that hit it?
Absolutely.
Now tell me this: Are the Dreamers? Is it just Zadie that's extra, or are the Dreamers extra as well?
Oh, they're all extra now. No. And the older we get, the more extra we become. I'm telling you, Mark, it's like for us to go out to a restaurant to eat, I'm like, okay, whoever the waiter is, you're getting 30% off the top because I got somebody who's getting ready to order a salad, want her dressing heated and on the side. No, I'm not even calling her out because I know she's on the call. But that's how crazy it gets. We know what we want and we ask for it, but we'll pay for it too.
We'll pay for it, and you know what? That's when you understand that it's reciprocal, right? And you get to put stuff out, you get to want your dressing on the side heated if that's what you like, and not be ashamed to ask for it, and also recognize that that's some extra effort required for them to get that to you that way, right? And so not be afraid to say thank you, right, in a way that they acknowledge it, right? They didn't wake up this morning, but I sure hope somebody ordered some dressing on the side, heat it up. That's what I need today.
And we tell them up front, this is going to be some work for you, okay?
Yeah.
But we got your back.
Hey,
Okay?
that's why
We'll take care of you.
Hey, one of the guests says age equals extra.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Hey, yes, Kenny. Everyone needs their core friends to keep them grounded. Now, this is interesting. One of the comments from the audience is that they love that you refer to your friend circle as the dreamers. It shows that we're normalizing positive reflections of African American women friendships. Thank you, Starla. Thank you, Starla. That's really interesting. The normalizing positive reflections, right? And so this for folks that may be like, I don't know if I'm gonna get the book. The interview was really interesting, but like, why should people go get this book? Tell us why we should go get it, Marcia.
Cause it's sexy as hell.
Boy, she say she was nervous. That's because she wasn't let the G for grown out. Marcia was being PG, pre-grown with me, all the way up into the show, y'all. I'm gonna tell a story. She was being pre-G, pre-grown. Now she going all the way grown. She had to look with it and everything. It's sexy as hell. Clip that, y'all. Go get the book. It's sexy as hell. Who don't want sexy? Right? Hey, this COVID baby might help some other COVID babies. I don't know. Y'all might not want no babies, but hey, practicing can still be fun too. I love it. That would love it. Charlotte Smith say that would be me. Is this the dressing on the side? Don't tell on yourself, Charlotte. Don't tell on yourself.
Okay. That is Charlotte. Yeah, I'm gonna put it out there, and it's gonna end up in the book because this book is the first in a series.
It's the first in the series. Okay. Yeah. So have you already started working on the second book?
Yes, I have.
Wow. So tell us about your, the hour flies fast. Tell us again. Tell us where folks can go get it. Buy the book today. Absolutely, Tanya. Buy the book. Tell us where folks can go get it again, and what your vision for this book is.
Well, you can buy the book at Amazon, or you can go to my website, MarciaWilliamsCromer.com, and click on the link, and you can see future projects that I'm working on. But it's available at Amazon right now. And my goal for the book is to continue to tell the story in a positive way. And I people keep asking me, is the second book going to continue as a series? And it will continue as long as I feel like Zaid has a story to tell. The main character is kind of driving me, and oh my God, I'm having so much fun developing the character and writing about some of the nuggets of things that really happen with the Dreamers, kind of filter in there from time to time. But a lot. Most of it is fiction. It is.
So somebody's asking, do you have a cookbook as well?
Yes. Okay. So
come on now, be generous with your shares about what your projects are, and they want to know, when is it going into production on TV?
Hey, from your lips to God's ears. Okay, I'm working on it.
Okay. So tell us, what are the projects? You got a book of poetry, right? And that book is called.
It's called Go and Find Yourself Some Happiness.
Okay, Go and Find Yourself Some Happiness. Then you got The Rancher and Stilettos. What's the cookbook called?
Actually, the cookbook is The Rancher and Stilettos, the cookbook. It's
claim it. Hey, he said you better claim. Hey, Kenny's in TV. You see his name. Y'all might need to touch base.
Kenny, I'm claiming it.
Yes. Are you having a launch party?
Yes, it's actually Saturday.
Tell us about it. Is it open to the public? Tell us about it. How can people find out about it? How can people support it?
If you'll just email me at info@MarciaWilliamsCromer.com, I will email you the link, the Zoom link. The party is at 3:00 Central Time on this Saturday, the 13th.
Now, what is I'm assuming it's virtual, but I don't know if that's accurate. What can we expect? A lot of folks I don't know have been to launch party. What some of the stuff they could expect at your launch party? We see you, Karen McNeil. Thank you.
I'm actually being interviewed by All I can say is just a national treasure. Her name is Emma Rogers. She is the former owner of Black Images Book Bazaar here in Dallas. So she'll be
Mm.
interviewing me. There's a drink called the Rancher and Stilettos. I'll be sharing out the recipe to that so we can all. Zayd's drink is bourbon. So
Okay, so it's a bourbon-based drink. I like
yes,
bourbon. Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes,
Well,
yes.
you have to share it with me. I mean, I do I get some privilege of some.
Absolutely.
I'm
I'll
a
hook
foodie,
you up.
so hold on. I'm gonna put my plug in. I'm a foodie. I'm an artist, and I like to drink from time to time.
And because I like to cook, of course, the character Zayd likes to cook. And the funny thing is, the dreamers will come and visit me. They will literally go to the grocery store and buy the groceries and just kind of chill back and go, B, just cook for us, okay?
I love the fact that they don't call you Marcia.
Oh, please, no, no. But back in the day, when you were in school, your teachers called you by your full name, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And now it just got cut down to just B.
right.
Burnett is just cut down to B.
Right. So Marcia Williams Cromer, y'all, the brand new book, The Rancher and Stilettos. Find it on Amazon. Go out and support her. If you want to learn more around her other projects, the cookbook, The Rancher and Stilettos Drink, The Rancher and Stilettos the cookbook, the poetry. Just take some time and be happy. Right. Go ahead and check out in any of those ways you see streaming across the bottom. Marcia Williams Cromer. It's been a fabulous having her on the show. So much fun. The book is rated G for grown, y'all. It's G for grown, right? It's G for grown. Team Cap said you are. Oh, Dave. Somebody else likes to eat too. Team Cap says you're so clever and funny. Mark, love your. Thank you, Team Cap. We love you. Go ahead and follow us. Make sure that you follow us. I see you coming in from YouTube. Subscribe to our channel, right? We've got some great shows there. Allverse Thursdays. It's a place where we bring together artistry and purpose, right? Artistry and purpose. And these conversations that are important, that are critical to the world. You can follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv near center. You can follow us on the Facebook, on the Facebook. That's me showing my age. You put a the in front of everything when you get older. The Facebook, the Twitter, right? And those aren't. If you want to support, we're going to be upgrading our equipment. I need some. I got these headphones. They work, but we want to get some better ones. We want to get some better cameras. You want to support the show? Support the Nia Center. You can go ahead and do that at the Zelle or the Cash App that you see going across the stream. But Allverse Thursdays, it's the place where we bring dope artists and purpose combined in one show. I don't think it's anything like that. And it's amazing. I'm going to say it. It's amazing, yo. It is probably rated G. I'm going to have to use that. Rated G for grown, y'all. The stiletto. Oh, Barbara, go ahead with them stilettos. Barbara, yes, ma'am. Please support Marcia. She's incredible. Marcia, any last words for us before we close the night?
Hey, Mark, thanks for having me. It's been an honor to be able to talk about my projects and to talk about some things, just creating, the process of creating. I really do appreciate that.
You're welcome. Anytime we could do anything for you. As a matter of fact, if you go onto Facebook, Allverse is another one of our pages that we curated, just like the show Allverse. There's Allverse as a group. Feel free, please go in there and put your postings, and it's a place to do anything uplifting. So share about what you got coming with your new book, how people can find it, and please let us know. Rancher, writer, cook, creative queen. Absolutely, Maureen. Absolutely, Maureen. Frida says she enjoyed it. It has been a blast. So with that being said, let me go ahead. I'm gonna close this with a poem and a prayer, right? And so this one is called Keep On. Keep On. Fight when your back is against the wall. Get back up when you fall. When all hell breaks loose, it's your destiny. You absolutely get to choose. You call me, I call you. We push each other. That's what the dreamers do. See, I need you to live. You're all I need you to give. See, I'm waiting for you, Marcia. Go ahead and write the book to really come through. Not just stop in or pass by, but let the world know who made you and why. You call me, I call you. We push each other. That's what the dreamers do. Hey, this is Allverse Thursday. This is Mark Christmas, your host. It's been a wonderful show. And I'll say, Spirit of life and truth, all that is because of you. See, basically, I've been focused on my grind, and some things have come and slipped through the cracks. I have a roof over my head, and my pantry is stocked, my fridge is full, but I have some material possessions, and my finances are getting a little bit better. But even though you've done all that for me, I need you to forgive me. See, because I haven't really been tithing my money or my time. So, I mean, like I said I would, Lord, I know my spiritual blessing, my spiritual being, rather, Lord, is anorexic. Forgive me for passing my prayers. And I know they're quick most days. I just don't seem to have the time to say more than maybe Jesus wept and amen. And I've been a bit self-centered. So forgive me for not offering the homeless and the widows and the fatherless, of motherless child and the help that I could give them. I haven't been volunteering, but Lord, you know how it goes. I pray that you don't treat me the same as I've been treating you. I pray that you have mercy on me and that you continue to extend your grace to me. I pray that you turn my backwards thinking around and set my innermost being right. So if you got to tear me down to build me up and make me whole, but only if you need to, Lord. I really don't prefer it. I really would just prefer a pass on the tear down and allow me to get it together. But nevertheless, let your will be done. This is All Verse Thursdays, y'all. We've had a great show. Thank you to our guest, Marcia Williams Cromer, the rancher in Stilettos. And with that, we're going to say peace of oneness, blessings of oneness, love, and joy.